It's 3:03 again. Every night, at exactly 3:03 a.m, the whispers start. I moved into apartment 403 last week. The rent was cheap, almost suspicious. When I asked the landlord about the strange noises previous tenants had mentioned, he just gave me this long, unsettling smile. He said, "Oh, you'll get used to it." I should have known then, shouldn't I? The way his eyes didn't quite match his grin. But the price, it was too good to pass up. The building itself is old, one of those pre-war structures with thick walls and a history you can feel in the air. My apartment, 403, is at the end of the hall. It's quiet up here, too quiet. The first few days were normal, unpacking boxes, the smell of fresh paint, the hum of the old refrigerator. It almost felt like a home. I was starting to think I'd found a real gem, a peaceful little corner in the heart of the city. The first night was when it began. I woke up suddenly, the moonlight casting long dancing shadows on the wall. A sound was trickling through the air vent above my bed. It wasn't a draft, not the building settling. It was a whisper. But it wasn't words, not yet. It was just breath, a soft rhythmic exhalation, like someone was right there on the other side, practicing how to speak, learning to form sounds. I held my own breath, my heart starting to pound in my chest, a slow, heavy drum against my ribs. Then, just as quickly as it started, it was gone. Silence. I told myself it was just the old building, my mind playing tricks on me in a new place. I tried to go back to sleep. I couldn't. The second night, it happened again. I was ready this time, or so I thought. I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, waiting, and right on cue, the clock on my nightstand clicked over. 3:03 a.m. The soft breath returned, a little closer this time, a little more confident. And then it said my name, a dry, rustling whisper from the vent. Nagar. My blood ran cold. It was impossible. No one could know my name. I hadn't even met the neighbours yet. I sat bolt upright, my mind racing. Was I dreaming? Was this some kind of auditory hallucination? A metallic tapping started from inside the wall. A slow, deliberate sound. Tap, tap, tap. It wasn't the pipes. It was a rhythm. It was a signal. The next day, I was a wreck. I couldn't focus at work. I kept replaying that single, whispered word in my head. Nagar. I had to know if I was going crazy. So, that night, I set up a small voice recorder on my nightstand, pointed directly at the vent. I left it running and tried to sleep in the living room, a blanket pulled up to my chin. The next morning, I couldn't wait. My hands were trembling as I plugged the recorder into my laptop. The audio waveform flickered on the screen. I clicked play. At first, there was just static, the hum of the room, my own soft breathing. Then I heard it, the breathing from the vent, but on the recording, it was clearer, more defined. It wasn't just air. And then, the voice. It wasn't just my name this time. It whispered a full sentence, a chilling, possessive phrase that seemed to hang in the air long after the sound stopped. I never left. The words echoed in my headphones, seeming to layer over themselves. I never left. I never left. I never left. My curiosity now outweighed my fear. I had to know what was behind that vent. I found a screwdriver, and, my heart pounding, I began to carefully remove the 4 small screws holding the metal grate in place. The metal was cool to the touch. As the last screw came loose, I gently pried the cover off. A puff of dust billowed out. Inside the wall it was hollow, just as I suspected. And there, nestled in the darkness, was a small, dusty microphone, its wires snaking down into the wall. Next to it, an old speaker, security deposit. I just had to get out. My hands were shaking so violently I could barely zip my suitcase. Finally, I was ready. I dragged my bags to the front door, my keys clutched in my hand. I was ready to leave, to run and never look back. But before my hand touched the doorknob, I heard it again. Not from the vent this time. It was closer. It was on the other side of the door, from the hallway. A whisper, pleading, insistent. "Don't go, Nagar." The voice swelled around me, seeming to come from both sides at once, a stereo of terror in my ears. "Don't go, don't go. If you're ever looking for a new apartment and you see a listing for apartment 403, just keep scrolling.